welcome back, great to have you. Today we're going to do a brief full body flow, just moving with our breath. And what that does, it helps us to regulate and balance our nervous system, especially after coming off a high energy shift or whatever you might be doing. Sometimes it's hard to bring things back down, back home or wherever you might be. So with time, with practice, with presence on our breath and different movements, hopefully you can start to recognize a little bit more balance, a little bit more control in the nervous system. So let's go ahead and get started. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat, however you would like. And first, let's begin to find our breath. Feel free to close your eyes for a moment, or you can just find a gentle downward gaze. But just take a moment, we're gonna do our 3-part breath today. So as you find that breath, just kind of notice, check in how you are breathing today. And then just bring awareness to the very tip of your nose. If you're breathing through your nose, or to those lips if you're breathing through the mouth. For 3 breaths here, just try to keep all your awareness, all your focus on where the breath is entering the body and then where it comes back out. And then for the next few breaths, moving that awareness down a little bit deeper into the chest, the lungs, the ribs. And as you breathe here, just keeping your awareness on that area, that upper torso. Inhaling as you feel it expand, and exhaling as it softens. Just a couple breaths here. And then just the next few breaths, taking it even deeper still into the belly. Sometimes it's a little harder to feel the breath there in the belly, but just bring your awareness, your focus to the belly as you breathe. Again, just a couple breaths as you inhale, just allowing the belly to relax a little bit so it can expand with the breath in. And then on the exhale, you might feel it start to come back in. And then just 3 more breaths here, connecting all those parts, those 3 parts of the breath as you breathe it into the nose, into the chest, into the belly, and out of the belly, out of the chest, out of the nose. 2 more as you connect those breaths. And just 1 more full breath here. Awesome. Okay, go ahead and release those hands, or you can bring them to the floor. Go ahead and come around onto all 4s. We're going to come onto hands and knees. And as we come back to that natural breath, what you're going to try to do is find the breath first and then match the movement, your movement to your breath, instead of the other way around. Oftentimes we move however we want and then our breath automatically follows. So let's try it the other way, where we find that breath first. Just notice how deep your inhales and exhales are. And then on the next breath in, we're just going to lift our right leg off the floor. So reaching it straight back behind, and then on the breath out, we're going to lower that right leg back down. On the inhale, we're going to lift the left leg. Reaching out behind you, flexing your foot. Exhaling, lowering back down. Inhaling, the right arm is going to reach forward. Thumb pointing up, fingers pointing forward. Exhaling all the way down. Inhaling, the left arm reaches forward and out. Exhaling as we lower. Now let's combine. We're going to inhale, lift right leg, left arm. And exhale, slowly lower back down. And then inhaling, left leg and right arm lift. Exhaling as you lower. So just continuing to move, opposite arm and leg. Your breath pace is going to be a little bit different than mine. So with each breath in, we want to lift and extend, and each breath out, slowly lowering back down. A couple times here with your own breath. We're going to go 3 times each side. And you can choose that pace if you want to make that breath a little bit slower or a little bit faster. And maybe one more time each side. And then when you are finished, go ahead and bring both hands, both knees back to the mat. Maybe create a little bit of space in between those knees. Big toes can come towards one another. And then we're gently going to reach these hips back towards our heels into our child's pose. So palms can be on the floor, extending those arms forward. Your head might be hovering over the mat, or you can rest on the floor. Just 3 breaths here as we pause to take a moment to check in with what you might feel in the body. And then on your next inhale, making your way forward, back onto those hands and knees, but shifting forward until you come into a kneeling plank. So we'll bring those knees back about hip width apart. On the breath out, let's bend those elbows. Slowly lower yourself all the way down to the chest and the belly. And on our inhale, we're just going to take a big shoulder roll. Leaving those elbows, or those shoulders drawn back behind you, elbows pointing straight back. So just the shoulders, the chest are lifted off the floor. One more inhale here, try to lift through the crown of the head. And then exhale as you lower back down. On an inhale, we're going to ground down into those fingertips, lifting the torso back to those knees, and exhale, reaching hips back towards our heels. 3 times through this little flow. So on your inhale, we come forward to that plank. Exhaling, elbows bend slowly with that breath out. Lower it down. And then inhale, lifting the chest. You can lift a little higher if you'd like. Exhaling as you lower back down. On an inhale, engaging that core, helping to lift back up. Exhaling, hips reach back. 2 more times with that breath. As we inhale forward, try to avoid just lowering down super fast. Just go slowly with that breath. Inhaling as we lift from the crown of the head up. Exhaling back down. Inhaling back up to your plank, and exhaling, hips reach back. One more time with your own breath, your own pace. Making your way back to that extended child's pose, but this time we're going to tuck our toes underneath. So continue to reach those hips back, those arms reaching forward. And then gently grounding down into those fingertips. Let's lift our knees, lift our hips, coming up into that downward dog. Maybe take a nice deep breath in through the nose here, and then a long breath out through the mouth. 2 times like that, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And once more, in through the nose, nice and loud, just sigh it out through the mouth. Awesome. Okay, let's turn that gaze forward in between our hands. You can take little steps, or you can jump or hop your way to the front to that forward fold, and then let's find a deep bend in those knees and just allow those arms to relax as you slowly stand all the way up. When you get to the top, feel free to roll out those shoulders, shake out those arms. All right. Let's bring those hands to our heart center. As we pause here, see if you can just feel the mat or the ground underneath those feet. Lifting tall through the crown of the head, strong through the core, strong through those legs. Notice how you are breathing. And then on your next inhale, let's reach those arms all the way out and up. And exhale, finding a forward fold. So bending those knees, folding over those legs. Both hands come to the floor. Let's step our left foot to the back, lowering down to our left knee. On that inhale, slowly reaching those arms forward, all the way up into a kneeling lunge. And exhale, bending those elbows, dropping them down and back as we open through the front of those shoulders. Inhaling as we lift arms back up, exhaling, hands to the floor. Lifting that left knee, and we'll step the front foot to the back, downward dog. And then inhaling forward to your plank. Maybe you stay on your toes, maybe you come to those knees. But next breath in, try to shift that weight forward a little bit more. Shoulders stay drawn down back. And exhaling, bending the elbows slowly with that breath out. Lowering down. And then inhale, lifting. You can be an upward dog or cobra. On the breath out, engaging that core, lifting the hips, downward dog. And then bending our left knee. And on that next breath out, stepping that left foot to the front. Right foot or right knee lowers down. Untucking those toes. And inhaling as we reach those arms forward and up. Exhaling once again, elbows bend. Reaching them back behind you, lifting forward and up through the heart. And then slowly go ahead and inhale those hands back down to the floor. We'll lift that right knee, stepping it forward, stepping the foot forward into a forward fold. Deep bend in both knees. This time let's bring our arms up as we stand. And exhale out through the mouth. Just back to our mountain, back to that center. About 3 breaths here as you pause. Just observing what's going on in the mind, in the body, and the breath. Next breath in, let's reach those arms all the way back up. On the breath out, finding your forward fold. Once again, just bending those knees, gently folding over those legs. Untucking the head, just allow the top of your head to relax down towards the floor. Your hands can be hovering over the floor, or maybe they're touching. Either way is fine. And then slowly just moving that head side to side and forward and back. Releasing some of that tension we hold on to in the lower back, in the neck, in the shoulders. Bringing those hands back, or your head back to center. Go ahead and bend those knees all the way until you can lower those hips down. Having a seat once again on your mat. We'll bring those feet to the floor. Hands can come to the front of those knees. Let's take a nice deep breath in as we sit up tall, rolling those shoulders down the back, slightly turning that gaze up. And then on the breath out, rounding through the spine, drawing the belly and the chin towards the chest. 3 times each direction. Inhaling as you reach forward, lifting up. Exhaling as you round, reaching back. 2 more times with your own breath. And slowly making your way back to center, back to that neutral spine, back to a comfortable seat. If you have a few extra minutes, feel free to lower down onto your back and just take a 5-minute Shavasana where you can just lay there and breathe. Otherwise, we will end here together, joining me in just for 2 more breaths. So finishing that next breath out. And then on your inhale, let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And exhaling out through the nose. And then just a nice cleansing breath. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale out through the mouth. Thanks for joining me once again for our brief full body flow, for breathing, and for balancing that nervous system. Hope you have a great day. Namaste.